This is the Beef Checkoff Update. I'm Brian Stuskett here on the Rural Radio Network, and joining us over the phone is Dr. Shailene McNeil, Executive Director of Nutrition Research at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, one of the contractors to the Beef Checkoff. And Dr. McNeil, today we are talking about new research funded by the Checkoff, just published, and this has to do with the protein makeup of a beef burger versus a soy burger. What'd you find? Set this conversation up for us.
Yes, we've got new research out of the University of Arkansas Medical Sciences, where researchers asked a question that I think a lot of people want to know the answer to is, how does a beef patty compare to a plant-based alternative when it comes to muscle building? And what this research showed is that a beef patty is more effective at muscle building, more efficient, more effective than a plant-based soy patty. So what we're learning is not all proteins are created equal, and a beef patty is much more efficient at helping build muscle than some of these alternatives that we're often seeing.
This has to be a question, as you mentioned, that's been raised a few times over the past couple of years as the plant-based alternatives have certainly been in the headlines. How long was this study? How long did it take to make this study come to life? And I guess share your response to this news.
Well, this was a very high-quality, rigorous study where patients were actually eating these burgers and they were measuring what was going on in their muscles. So it took about a year to get all the results completed and the results out. But I think what's important is that it adds to the growing body of evidence that we're seeing that not all proteins are created equal. Another real practical takeaway that something I think about a lot too is that you would have to eat 2 to 3 times the amount of calories from many of these plant-based alternatives. So in this case, nearly double the calories it would take for you to get the same muscle building effect. So beef is a much more efficient source of protecting your muscles. And when you're eating beef, you're not just getting that high quality protein that's so important for your muscles. You're also getting a wealth of nutrients, things like iron, zinc, B vitamins that are helping close your nutritional gaps. Of course, in a great tasting product. People love the taste of beef, so we can eat a beef burger and get that muscle building punch, get a great flavor, and get some good nutrition in our bodies as well.
How do you go about making sure the study is done in a way, obviously, NCBA and the Beef Checkoff, I'd love for this to go to a certain way. How do you make sure it's not weighted down on one side and that it is published in a way that people can believe the science?
Well, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about Beef Checkoff funded research is that when the Checkoff was established, the intention to do research was such a huge part of why beef farmers and ranchers wanted to invest in the Checkoff. And so the researcher contracts are set up in a way to protect the ethics of research. So regardless of the outcome, when we fund Beef Checkoff research, regardless of the outcome, the researchers are expected and they have an obligation to publish the results. And a lot of people don't realize that. So we fund research with very high quality researchers that are well known to be experts in their field. They conduct their research, but we don't get to control whether or not those results are published. And sometimes we don't always see what beef farmers and ranchers would want. In this case, we see that University of Arkansas, our researchers showed very favorable effects for a beef burger here. But that's one of the beauties of Beef Checkoff research that makes it so ethical and important contribution of science is because we fund the research and we let the researchers discover what they find and publish the results regardless of outcome.
Let's wrap up with this question. Obviously, we're here on the radio today talking about the results of this. Saw a few publications online highlighting the news as well. But how do you share this news with consumers?
One of the ways that consumers can get more involved, especially in Kansas, is to visit kansasbeef.org, your go-to resource for all things beef in Kansas. Of course, we have beefiswhatsfordinner.com. That is a great place. We've got a great nutrition section there where some of these studies are highlighted, as well as just practical take-home tips for eating healthy with beef. So really encourage consumers to get involved, come see us, come check us out, and learn more about the health benefits of eating beef as part of a healthy diet.
Dr. Shailene McNeil, Executive Director of Nutrition Research in the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, our guest today as part of the weekly Beef Checkoff Update.